Hello YouTube, and welcome back to another wonderful episode of Timberborn Z, where everything's changed. The devs have been doing some changing behind my back, and I didn't realize that. And apparently I'm a couple weeks behind on all the changes that they've made. And I'm not going to go through a list of all the changes. Future me can toss up a thing here with the editing power of future me and show you guys all the fun things that I completely missed out on. But it's been a minute since I've been able to actually sit down and record chaos in life and all that fun stuff. But I digress. That all being said, let's talk about where we're at. So the dome is not exactly where I want it to be. I would like to get some more entertainment in here, more cool things for the beavers. It's kind of boring looking, honestly. Sure, we've got all of our beavers in here. They're not in this system down here anymore, so they can all chillax up here and get all their happiness and all the fun and the joy. But I want to add a little bit more to it. You know, it seems like it's lacking in flair, pizzazz. Remind me to never say those words again. On top of all this stuff needs to be finalized, but that's going to require a lot of materials that I don't necessarily have on hand right now, which is going to take a little bit of time. That all being said, again, I digress. I need to get over here. And this whole system needs to be messed with. So I think that's what we're going to focus on today. I'm pretty sure. I'm 99% sure that's what we're going to focus on today. As long as I don't get distracted by some other red herring, that should be where we're going to be at. So what I'm thinking is we'll come over here and we'll attach into our two boys there, and we'll run over here, tear all this out. So we'll get a nice little burst in our scrap metal department, and we'll get into here and we'll set up another mine there, which we already have one being set up over here, but that's going to take a little bit, and it's probably going to take just about as long to set up over here. But while all this is going in, we can also be working on getting over here. And that means that we can start setting up our mine within our cave system, which is going to be pretty freaking awesome. And we can start working on a diversion system for all of this over here, and maybe somehow funnel the bad tide into some sort of power system so that we can take advantage of that while it's doing bad tide things. And also we can start running some clean water into the rest of our system somehow. I don't think that that's really going to be feasible unless we do something like a pressurized system, which I don't believe is going to be necessarily possible considering my plans for the water long term. So unless we do some sort of aqueduct into this system, I don't anticipate that actually working. But I digress. So we're going to work on this today. We're going to start prepping up the entire area, getting in a bunch of storage containers over here set up for dirt so that our metric poop ton of dirt excavators can get to work properly. We have a lot of dirt on hand already, but we're going to need a lot more than that, just based off of historically working on major builds like this. This 5,000 isn't going to cut it, right? So we do have a good portion of storage already on hand right here, and we can actually extend that a little bit. Probably put some more storage on top of here. Probably build another couple of these in here, or just make one of these huge ones and make it go all the way super high. I don't know. That might be a tad bit excessive, but again, I don't want to be in a position where I'm out of dirt, because this again is going to take a lot. But I've been yammering and yapping for too long, so let's go ahead and get the game started as my computer chugs along. Oh my goodness, it is fighting me already, and I just barely hit the go button. All right, hopefully it settled down, so it hasn't. All right, so that's going to be fun to fight with. So let's go ahead and pause the game again and come over here, and we'll start just go ahead and prepping this. So I can't blast through here. I could probably blast under, honestly. That shouldn't be hopefully that bad of a problem, because yeah. Yeah, maybe. I can go under it. I think that should be relatively simple. So we'll go down and under and over because I think that'll be the easiest thing for us to accomplish because I don't want to have to deal with this. And I kind of want to be able to access all this, but I also don't want to have to... I don't know. It makes sense in my brain, sort of. So we're going to go with that. So let's go ahead and do something along those lines. So that means that I would like to come in here and probably blast down. Actually, let's do something like this. So let's go ahead and we'll blast down right here. And then we'll go underneath. And then we can go ahead and hit this double. Actually, I think... Okay, so we want to do a double here. We want to do one under there. So let's go ahead and get them over here to toss that in real quick. Then we're going to have to figure out a way for them to get down into position to where they can put... Actually, hold up. Let's see if we can do that. I don't know if this will work, but I will give it a try and pause the game again real quick. And then we can see about putting this in. Where's that button? Right there. So I wonder if they can reach that. I think they can actually reach that. So that is cool. All right, let's go ahead and let them put that in real quick. And we'll give this a max priority as well so they can knock that out. And hopefully it doesn't cause any problems for us. You know? Oh, look at that. They've already got it partially in. And then they're just going to blow it. There it goes. Nice. And then what we could do is start going down. I think... do we need this in here? We can't have that like that, so we got it. We can't actually do that. Can we put this in? I don't think that worked. Okay, hold up. Can we not have... Hold up. Come on, game. Work with me. Thank you. So let's go ahead and blow this out. And then... Can I now tear this out? Now! Probably not. No, I can't. Okay. What if I put this in... like this now? Will it let me? No. Will it connect this way now? No, it will not. Okay, well, I thought I could do something cool. Apparently, I was mistaken. That's what I get for thinking I can do cool things. Boo. That's kind of stinky. I'd like to get that to connect somehow. Anyway, I digress. So, let's see here. Thinking we can just connect in from there, and that should be simple enough. So, kind of need a way down. I can't really... this is so... it's mildly obnoxious. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll toss in a staircase right there. We will then blast this out right here. And that should put us below. I think that puts us just one above the base level, and that puts us well below that line. So we'll go ahead and do that. I think that should be the simplest thing. Let's go ahead and hit those buttons real quick, get that in, and then we can get the beavers down in there and have them start running about the cabin, if you will. So they've already got the stairs in. Game is chugging along like it's fighting Godzilla, I guess. I don't know. Sweet, that's in. Apparently, I didn't need to put the stairs in because I could have placed it from there anyway. So that was a wasted effort, but that's fine. I'm okay with that. All right. So now we do this, and then grab that bad Johnny and put that in right there. And then pull this down, and we go to this level. And then hopefully this does not become an issue for us. Nope. Don't need that too wide. There we go. Clear that out. And then we keep doing this for a few seconds. So give me a second. I'll be back after I get this over to where I want it to be. Am I low enough? I hope I'm low enough. I really, 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 really hope I'm low enough. Should be low enough. Okay, never mind. Yep, okay, sweet. And... okay, that's that one. Yeah, we should be fine. Okay, cool. We'll keep blasting out here. So onwards and upwards we go. This is probably absolutely unnecessary and excessive in so many ways, but I like it anyway. So we want something along those lines. Then I need to figure out a way to blast down to that, but that should be good enough. I could probably just run some paths over here for them to just go ahead and put stuff in right there. But let's go ahead and get those guys moving. Probably give this a priority, actually. Don't know if this will actually work, but it's kind of working, so I'll call that a win. Sweet. And boom. And watch my computer fight for its life. Okay, come on. All right, let's see if I can make some adjustments. Don't know if that necessarily helped anything, but I am going to hope that it did. They've already got some of those in, so that is cool to see. That means that we could probably drop this back down right here, go up one more, and then start grabbing all of this. Now, the annoying thing about doing this is I have to basically let them build this out before they can actually continue moving along here. So maybe I will do like I mentioned and probably build a path over here and over here so they can clean some of that stuff up, and we can rebuild some of the pathing, other path stuffs that we have going in. So that shouldn't be that big of a complication or big of an issue. Just trying to figure out where the easiest route is in at, and it's probably through here. And that just runs us across there. We'll throw in some stairs, like such as stairs right here as well. We can probably just toss in some stairs instead of just trying to build additional pathways over there. Grab that, bring that down right now. Go ahead and put in our staircase. Miss the staircase by that much. Tear out that. No, I don't want to tear that out. All right, cool. That shouldn't cause a problem, theoretically. I wonder if the path will actually stay on there. I don't know if that's if that is a thing that could actually occur. Okay, so these guys are coming out already. So you love to see that they're super proactive in getting things accomplished in a very efficient fashion. You got to love to see that. And these guys are already building that system down there, so we can go ahead and probably start working our way forward a little bit more, and onwards and upwards we continue. So while that is going on and while they're working their way over there, we can come over here and check on the progress on this whole spot over here. So they're already working their way pretty nicely. I don't know if it'd be any faster to help them out anymore by building them a way down here to help build some of this stuff out. So I'll probably avoid doing that. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and check on some other stuff. So while they're working on all of that, we can actually start thinking about some of the additional stuffs that I wanted to put up here. So we've got plenty of exercise plazas on the first floor. We've got plenty of wind tunnels down there as well. We've got plenty of detailers down in the Den of Thieves. We've got a poop ton of motivatoriums, and we have a fair number of mud baths floating around, so I'm not too concerned about that. Now, what we could do is put mud baths on the edge of this right here. And maybe... I don't think that would cause an issue. It might, depending on how this is looking, honestly. I think that's all supported. So I could technically put button baths on this. I do need them to come over here and finish this. I don't know why they haven't finished that yet. Too far, cannot be reached. Ew. That might explain why none of that's been accomplished. Well, there. Now you guys can come over there and finish that up. So let's go ahead and let them do that. And then we can look at some decorations. See. Additionally, we could probably unpause these two portions right here. Let them finish building those guys. Have they built these? No, because I tore out their access to it because I did a goober thing. So that's entirely on me. I accept full responsibility for my actions there. So that means that we're going to have to do something along these lines. Put that in. Put another one right here. And then grab one of these. Then maybe something like that. And they should be able to reach both of those. It's probably too high, but they should be able to... No, it's too far over. So that's not going to work at all. Let's rip that out. We'll do this over here, I suppose. And we'll just do a 6 across. It's probably a tad bit excessive in the amount of materials that we're going to waste in putting that in. But that's what I get for not planning accordingly. They'll come over, they'll finish putting in all that dirt stuffs there. So that'll be cool. That'll be Gucci. That'll be grand. Cool. Let's go ahead and hit that play button again. Let things maneuver along a little bit. This is going to be an interesting recording, watching the game play. Basically, hold up. Let's do something real quick. So let's go ahead and turn on the show FPS counter. And let's see what the FPS is at. 50, 18, 9, 4, 2, 1. This is insanity right here. Absolutely 0 FPS. Oh, goodness gracious. That is insane how badly this game is running right now. I don't even know what to do to help alleviate this. I'm going to close some of my background applications. Maybe that'll help. I highly doubt it. That is crazy to me. All right. Everything's closed except for Timberborn and my recording system. So this is crazy. 12 FPS. 9 FPS. It dropped down to 1 of 1 FPS. Oh my goodness. All right. Not sure what's eating it up. Maybe I do need to break this thing up into districts instead of being reliant on the 2-way stations. It feels a little better, I guess. I don't know. We'll keep an eye on the FPS. Sweet. How are we doing down here? Let's go ahead and drop this down. They should have been moved forward just a tad bit. They got a few of those out of the way already, so we can move just a little bit forward here. Go ahead and put those in. Put all of that in, and that'll be cool. I can't really put anything or have them work on any of that. I'm just going to have to play onesie twosies with all that as time progresses. This is holding up quite well, though. Then again, I think this was a relatively short bad tide, so I can't really claim that that was helpful at all. Yeah, 1 FPS. Whoa. All right. Let me see where else I can put some bots, because I've got 9 bots running around with nothing to do with their hands, which is a waste of their time. Maybe put them in as haulers. Maybe that'll be helpful. Go ahead and make sure this is dropped on the priority scale so we're not pulling from anything unnecessarily. Pretty sure everything should be fine, and I think I've transitioned all these guys over to bots as well. I think maybe a few of these positions haven't been made into bots yet. Let's see here. Gotta come around and check from the back. Hey, look, it's me. And there's Donnie. Donnie, you're fired. Thank you for your patrons. Dr. Bean, thank you as well. You're fired. Go and relax. Go do relaxing things. Because that's what good beavers do, is they relax after they've led a long and arduous life. All right. What is this? Oh, that's the water sources. Okay, that's cool. Let's see. They got that all in, so that is good to see. Let's see. While we let that stuff run in the background, I don't want a bell because it's just loud and obnoxious, so I'm not going to put one of those in. We can put in a clock tower or a clock. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't know if they'll be able to actually reach this. Yeah, and it's going to be the same here if I were to put that there as well. So I'd have to tear out this brazier, but I'm not too upset about the idea of doing that. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll tear out 2 of these guys. We'll put in our clock right here and right here. And then we'll put the brazier in. Are these double-sided clocks? No, they are not. But I guess that's kind of helpful for them if they're... We can't have a clock behind the brazier. That's just awkward. So we gotta put that in a better position. They can actually see it. Flip that around. So they'll wake up and they'll see the clock. And these guys will have to look at this to see the time. Hold up. Let's flip this around. So let's flip that. These guys will wake up and they'll see the clock there as well. So I like it. Okay. Let's let them put that in real quick. Oh, I did the same thing there. Let's fix that. But I need this behind here now. And now I need this behind there. So we need to pause that again. Oh, goodness gracious. This is fine. Everything is fine. Now, the question is, what do these need material-wise? Treated planks, metal blocks, and gears. It's the treated planks that I was running on low on earlier. Gears I'm fine on, and metal blocks we're doing okay on. I could probably unpause one of these, but I feel like that's a tad bit unnecessary, considering the fact we've already got one of these running right here, and it's providing enough happiness for our beavers. Okay, let's look more at some decorations. Probably throw in some more shrubs for all of our beavers. And unpause that. Why happened to this one? All right. Apparently, I don't know what to do with my hands. Sweet. Let them go ahead and knock that out. Then we could tear this stuff out. Or we could actually put stuff in front of this on this ledge. I don't see why not. What would we put on the ledge? Lanterns? I don't think lanterns would make sense. More beaver busts? I think that's excessive. We don't need wooden fences. We don't need metal fences. I don't want the bell. We can put some of... I don't really have a place for these, honestly. I want to put all of the benches and stuff in the forest that we're going to make over here. So maybe that's not what we want to do there either. Okay, let's look in well-being. See what else we can do. We can put some back scratchers in here. So maybe this is where the back scratcher alley will be. I like that idea. Back scratcher alley there. I had intended to put a house here, but I don't think that's necessary. I like the idea of having a little bit of leeway for them to get around and out and about and stuff. So I think that's a totally valid use of that space. I don't think that we need to do showers because we have the wet fur bonus. This doesn't provide its own bonus. It just provides the wet fur bonus, which we get from the swimming pools already. We don't need any medical beds because the majority of our beavers aren't in positions where they can actually get hurt from anything. Let's see. That is pretty much everything other than running power out of this and putting in more mud baths. How many of our beavers actually have a mud bath bonus associated with them? That's not the right button. I wanted this button. Coffee, everybody's happy. I could put in foodstuffs up here. That wouldn't be a bad idea. Social life, campfires. That's what I need. I need campfires up here. We can put more of those in. And we just put in a bunch of back scratchers. We've got plenty of exercise plazas. Maybe put in 1 or 2 up here as well. Don't want to run wind tunnels up here. Motivatorium, that's fine. I think the majority of these ones that we're missing right here, words, English, hard, are just the guys that are having to work. We have 247, so half of them are getting an opportunity to go out and do that. But the other half are probably... So maybe we can actually pull down the work hours just a tad bit and let the rest of the beavers get some more of the fun things taken care of. I think that wouldn't be a bad idea. The guys who don't have the tribute to ingenuity or the flame unity or labor monument are probably guys that are haulers that are running halfway across the world and aren't able to make it back for a long enough period of time to actually get that taken care of. But let's see here. I kind of want to clean up this pathway just a tad bit so that we can have a little bit of an easier way about the cabin, if you will. Gotta have a nice clean slate to work with. So let's do this. I kind of want to tear that out. This is our way through, though, that we kind of need to have anyway. So let's go ahead and we'll pull this around like this. Match that up like such as, and so. Tear that out, and then we can put in some more well-being stuff. I don't want to get too close to the edge because we're going to run into a problem with where we're going to put the dome on top, and I feel like these houses right here might be a problem as it is, so we might have to tear these guys out and put them over here, which I'm not opposed to doing. I do need to put in some stuff for these guys too. So this is one of the things I was mentioning at the beginning of the video that they changed the recipe on. These just require planks now. They don't require logs, but they also increased the price. So instead of 4 planks in 1 log, now it's 6 planks in total, which is going to be an interesting time when it comes to early game development, right? So that will be definitely interesting to see how people deal with that. Kind of want to put something in right here as well. So we can put in, go back into decoration. I want to put in those 2 right there, and then we can put in that guy right there. That'll be nice for them. That'll be really cool. That'll be nice. And while this is paused, let's come over here. Start putting in our next line. I don't believe that we've run into a problem yet with our little tunneling expedition. They've got all of this in now, so that's really helpful. So that's good to see. I'm going to pull this all the way back up. Let's drop that down to 14 hours so that those guys can actually get to work. And let's see what else we can do over here. Now, storage. I think what we can do here is go ahead and just start converting all of this into dirt. I don't think we need this much metal storage. Well, we do need a fair portion of metal storage, but probably not this much. We are going to use a little bit, but a fair bit of the next build is going to be dirt. We will use some because we'll have to do the overhangs and everything for our reservoir that we're going to be putting in, but that's going to be minimal compared to the sheer amount of dirt that we're going to be putting in. So let's go ahead, and I think logs are going to be a big pain in the butt because we're full on that all the way across the board. planks I could probably swap out without too much consternation. Let's see here. Yeah, let's do the planks over here. Go and swap that out for dirt since it's already pretty much empty as it is. So we'll let them continue to fill that stuff in, so that'll be good for us. Yeah, as soon as I unpause, the game just drops straight back down to 7 FPS. If anybody on the dev team watches any of my videos, I would appreciate some feedback. It's what is causing this this absolutely god-awful FPS. And if it's districts, then fine, I'll do it. I'll put in districts, but I don't want to, okay? I don't want to do it. But if that's the answer, I will, because I like playing the game and I want to see the fruits of my labor. Okay? That's why. Now, can you do anything else? You can plant that. You can plant all that. You can plant all that. So I don't think you are necessary there anymore, since all that is just being taken care of. And let's see here. Hold up. Hold up. Is this all the same height? Pause the game. No, it's not the same height. Boo! I was thinking about putting like a... Hey, look! We got happier beavers. Putting a system in here so that this side, when this fills up, or when this side fills in, this one's done being filled in, but I don't... Since they're on two different heights, it's going to be a little bit more pain in the butt than I would like to actually fight with, so I'm not going to mess with that. We'll just accept the loss of 2 beavers, 2 iron bots over here dumping water, which is totally fine. Alright, 62, that's pretty good. I love to see that. Probably had something to do with a little bit more happiness. Probably a few more of our beavers getting access to the roofing bonus. And then they probably put all this in, so that added an additional layer of joy for them. So that is always good. I did put food in here. That's right. I did do that. Yeah. So we got all of the food stuffs up here. And it should be nearly full. I don't know why kohlrabi and... Probably because that's what they ate this morning. Also, probably not helpful that I don't have it set for haulers to bring stuff in. So that's on me. I am happy to see that we have a poop ton of grease floating around, but I do need to do something for our bots that we're about to get to work over here with grease stuffs. Okay, how are we doing dirt-wise? This is already pretty full, and then we've got another 1,000 units of dirt to fill in there, so that'll be quite helpful. Go ahead and drop this back down and check on this. This is really... I wish I could just grab this and just run it straight through. Like, I understand that I'm going to have this explosion right there. I should be able to just... plant the explosion and future plan there. That'd be so cool, but that's probably too much to ask for. So I will digress for at least the second time this episode, okay? Don't worry about it, guys. Maybe the third time. All right, maybe the third time. All right, cool. Let's see. Storage. So... I've said storage at least 14 times, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to put some storage in right here. So if you guys would pardon me for half of a second, I'm going to go into speed mode, build storage mode. So excuse me. Be right back. All right. That should work, hopefully. We'll see. We'll let them do their things. And we'll see how that all goes out. We'll see if it actually works. Who knows? Probably not going to work as advertised or as planned. And this is totally fine. This is expected. This is anticipated because I did it. Therefore, it's probably not going to work very well for me. So that's cool and all. This is obnoxious, I have to say. All right, cool. Let's see. Okay, pause the game. Come over here. Let's check out how this is all coming along. So they got all that in. So let's go ahead. I did want to toss in some more things. I keep saying toss in. That's not the right word. I want to put in some more things for them to do over here. So we can go ahead. We can put in 2 campfires right there. Probably a second, a third, and a fourth one right there without any issues. Maybe one right here and right there. We can put in another one of our lanterns right here and right here, just for an extra level of happiness. That there. I should not incur any issues with anything right there. And we should be able to put something like that right here and right here without any issue. They should be able to climb up on top of this and place all those things anyway, so I'm not anticipating a problem there. And then additionally, what else can we do on this back side? We can fit in some detailers. I don't necessarily want to put any detailers in. We've got plenty of them downstairs. We've got plenty of back scratchers in now. Maybe we put some rooftop terraces up here. We just got to provide them a weight up there to begin with, which is easier said than done. Let's see here. Actually, I can't put that on there, but I can put a double on there. It's not necessarily what I want to do, and I don't think I can put anything on top of that right there. So that's going to be a problem for us. However, let's see if we can do this. Actually, probably not, but I will try it. So if we did that, that's not going to work. Okay, if we did a double here, would that work there? No, it would not. A triple. This is probably going to be too high. No, it's not even letting me place that there. Okay, so that's going to be a no-go on that whole idea, which is kind of stinky. I'm not happy about that. Could tear that out. I don't want to tear that out. That's fine. We can't even put anything on top of that. So what we can do, however, is put something like this in right here, and that's going to be probably a 1x3 across there. We can connect that right there, and that gives us that gap coverage. And then we can do the same over here. Put that in right there. Put that in right there. Grab this, cover that gap right there, and then we can place a bunch of our rooftop terraces up here for all of our beavers to hang out at night. And this will provide them with plenty of entertainment, and it'll also provide them all of the buffs from all the flames and all of the various, what are they called? Monuments that we have. So that'll be really nice. And then what else do we want to do? We need to provide them a path up there, which I don't easily have available for them. Unless we come in from this side. We'd tear out these beaver statues, tear this rooftop terrace out. Maybe tear out this clock, which I've already put in twice or 3 times now. Or we just do this right here, and then we go up one side, go down the other side. Just do that on both sides, which I'm not opposed to doing. That goes like that. That goes like this. That goes right there. Connect all of that up. And then we have to figure out a way to provide them access to all that, which means this is where I'm building quasi-symmetrically on a very not symmetrical piece of land. It comes to bite me in the butt. Probably doesn't help that I didn't build this smack dab in the center too. Well, I think I did, right? Everything here is symmetrical, and these two are the exact same distance apart as that down there. Whatever. This is fine. Yeah, I don't know how I made that so cattywampus, but oh, probably has something to do with that being an overhang and this side not being an overhang. Copy. I did the goober, and that's another thing that they actually made a modification to, is you have to be in that. You have to actually grab the corner now, as opposed to just grabbing the pathing, or not pathing, the tool words. Yes, the tool words. That's totally how English works. Good job, me. The terrain block, instead of just dragging with the terrain block, they actually made it to where you have to intentionally grab the corner to do all the things. So that is interesting. So we're going to unpause the game. We're going to let it think about its life for a few seconds while my FPS drops down to 1. And we're going to let things spin back up to 2, to 6, to 8. We have 2 stranded beavers somehow. 6 stranded beavers somehow. Good job, guys. How are we stranded? Because you guys built those before I told you to. So that's cool. Cool story, bro. That's fine. We can get them out of there like that. Actually, let's go ahead and rip that out. Rip that out right there. We'll put this in. And rip all this out. And I believe those are all just bots there, so I shouldn't have too much of an issue with them being a little stranded for a little bit. That guy right there, though, he's gonna be a butt. That's obnoxious. How did you get stuck down there, of all places? That means I'm gonna have to tear all this out and replant all that, which is annoying. Why must you make my life miserable, Mr. Beaver? Or Mr. Ironbot? Why must you do this, huh? These are the questions I have for you. Okay. So those guys are all stranded. You should be unstranded soon, hopefully. Okay, well, we're just building stuff on top of stranded beavers now, so that's cool. I love to see that. Okay, this will rescue a fair portion of these. This temperate cycle is actually lasting a lot longer than I thought it would. So that's cool. Also, we have a metric poop ton. Oh my. What happened? Ah! We have a metric poop ton of canola seed now, so that's cool. 63 is also really cool. I love to see that. Okay, did we rescue any of our beavers? This guy's still stuck down here. That's 2 bots, 83 and 957. Not entirely sure how we're going to rescue them. Probably by tearing that terrain block out and putting in this, and tearing out that terrain block and putting this wooden staircase in right there, which they should be able to reach theoretically. Building too far away. What do you mean it's too far away? Okay, well, you grab my path, please. Path tool for the win. Okay. Now it shouldn't be too far away. Yes. That is a priority. We'll let them get over there and do all of those things. And they should be able to hopefully not get themselves stuck while placing more dirt. That would be appreciated. And let's see here. All right. We'll let them think about their life choices as I come down here to place one more. Why is that not gone in? Oh, I know why that hasn't gone in. That's fine. Now we can place this bad Johnny right here. This is going to take 5 years to do. That is actually, I feel like that's a waste of my time. So, how do we rectify this? How do we speed this up? By coming over here and blasting our way down. So that is right on the other side of that. So I think what we're going to do is blast our way down to that. So that is the line right there, right? This line. And how deep does that go? So that is right on top of that. Then we can actually get in there, build some stairs down. We can just build the path out. I think that's probably going to be the quickest answer instead of having to play this onesie-twosie thing. So let's go ahead and give this a priority as well, because I want to get this knocked out, and I don't want to have to wait 5 years for them to actually make up their mind. Okay, guys, you're not supposed to be building from down there. All right, can you not, please? Thank you. All right, that should be cleared now. And now we should be able to put in this storage right here. All the way up top. It should be matchy. All the way. I still think I need to probably... I think I need to put in the path still too, don't I? Yeah, I need to build the path. Pathing structure is a requirement, me. So that everything's connected so that they can do the things. Let's drop all the way back down. That's that level. Then we can just grab this tool right there. Connect all that stuff. We go down one more. Do the same thing. That connects all those things. And that goes to there. Don't know how that happened. Whatever, it's fine. And then this level, and then we do this like 40,000 more times, guys. This is great. I love it. Let me just connect all that up. And there we go. Everything's connected. Sweet. We've just got paths 4 days everywhere. I love it. And things are already starting to fill in with dirt. And our FPS is back down to 1. Okay, come on. Come on. Just gonna let it think for a few seconds here, guys. We gotta let it think about its life choices. And then pause the game again so we can go check on how this is coming along. Which it's moving along nicely. I'm not entirely sure why this hasn't occurred yet. Okay, they're working on it, so that's good. Okay, that is awesome. Let's see about swapping out one of our Bio Beavers position with some iron bots and come over here. Fight. There we go. Blast this out. Then that should put us right on top of there. Then I think what we're going to have to do is probably blast out 2 of these, honestly. So we can put that there. Is that how that's going to work? So they're coming in. They're already tossing stuff into this. So that's going to blow as soon as they put that in. Then we can tear that out. Dang, that went up to 64. Let's go. Yeah, we'll tear this out. Right here, this platform, which is unnecessary. And then probably blast this down as well. Probably, actually, let's just go ahead and grab that. Get rid of that. And then blast our way in. No. Stay up. There we go. Like this with our double here. Actually, we don't need that there. So that goes like that. That goes like that. Give this a priority. Clear that out. Like such as... Yep, I think we're doing good. You know what? I should probably do something about this down here, honestly. Because these are useless. And we have power... We don't have power right here anymore because I've got it all running underneath everywhere. So it's useless to us, actually. Never mind. That's fine. It's just a little bit of lumber going. Just a little lumber burnt, which we're doing okay with 4.9K. That's totally feasible, totally acceptable. Watch the FPS drop as we embark on day 6 of 9. Nice. Okay. Give me that. Hit that button. There we go. Now that puts us on the right level. Pause the game again. Put that right there. I should not have destroyed that platform. And then that should mean that we can get down there and start working our way through there. And I don't know if I can actually put this path in through here. I doubt it. Yeah, I can't put the path in. And that's in the way. That's fine. We can just get rid of that. That's totally fine. Okay, cool. Let's give this a priority bump. Get that in like such as... I don't know why they haven't built this yet. Probably because I've had the game paused so many times that they haven't had an opportunity to do so. Also, I put in a bunch of other stuff on top of it. So that also explains that. Cool. Okay. Let's check on how this is going on up here. It is going in nicely. Stairs going in. Dirt's going in. Bots are moving in. I don't know how my bot production has skyrocketed so much. Because it was sitting steady at about 240, 230-ish. Maybe because the grease... It might be the grease, actually, since the grease factory is so close to the actual bot factory. They're able to actually increase their overall efficiency, so these guys are just happy all the time, probably. Yeah, 170% work speed and 80% movement speed. Yeah, these guys are cruising. That explains the bot explosion. Bot population explosion. Not literally blowing up the bots here, guys. I've only had one incident thus far. We're going to try to avoid that in the future, if you know what I mean. Okay? All right. Yeah. Please and thank you. Let's go ahead and pause this. Give this a priority, because I would like them to have that path so they can come over here and do all those things. Let them keep rocking out in the free world. I love to see it. These guys are so happy now. 62. That's great. Everybody's got access to all of the monuments, minus a few onesie twosies here. Scratchers. Got a lot of scratchers in. Detailers in. Let's see here. It's in social life. Campfires. Okay, we're still lacking a little bit on the campfire arena, but that is being rectified now, and we're going to rectify even more here in the near future. Probably actually start working on that as well. So go ahead and Is that necessary? I don't think it's necessary. It'd be cool, but it's not necessary. I'm curious, actually. How, No, that wouldn't work, would it? That wouldn't work. No, there's no way that would work. So I don't think it's gonna work. Yeah, 'cause I don't think irrigation goes... Well, it does, actually. Well, no, it doesn't. Does it? You don't know. Okay, so let's go ahead and put these guys all connected. This guy all connected, and then put shrubs on top. Is that excessive? Is that ridiculous? Probably. Beaver busts and shrubs and lanterns. Oh my. I don't think that that's entirely necessary. Yeah, I think we're not going to do that. And put some little benches here, though. Yeah. Little benches for our beavers to relax on. There you go. That's kind of cute, I suppose. Okay, let them finish that up. Let's go. Now we have another 8 iron bots floating around with nothing to do with their hands. What is unconnected? How are you not connected? Because the one path that I drew underneath, it did not connect all the way. Which one is it that's not connected? No haulers in district? Okay, hold up. Here we go. And all of these are being put in now, so I need to tell them what to put in here. Otherwise, they won't do anything with it, and it'll just keep giving me these yellow boxes. And that's not annoying at all, okay? And then that bad Johnny, that bad Johnny. We'll do this for the next 6 to 9 seconds, and then I think I'm just not going to worry about the telling them to prioritize it by haulers, get haulers movements over. It should fill up on its own. We have so much dirt rolling in now. We've already almost doubled our dirt capacity. 8.6. We were at 5 point something before, so that'll be great. And we have another 5,000 worth of storage available. Yeah, and we're about to increase that even more here. So I don't think that's going to be enough dirt. Mind, that's definitely not going to be enough dirt for what we have in store here next, but that will be a good starting point. And these guys are making progress now, which is brilliant. That's what we wanted to see. That is what we wanted to see now. Great. So we can actually tell them to do that there and just make sure that this is connected with the path, which it is not, which means, oh, okay, we just grab this button, grab that button, and connect it right there. And now it's all connected. With everything else in the world that's definitely not destroying my computer right now. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it. Okay. Only 57 dropping to 2. Alright. Let's see here. That is going in. We could probably have them put in that next little pathway in here, maybe? Yes, we can. Let's go ahead and put that in, and then let them place that, and then they can do that thing, and then we'll eventually get to the point where they can get all connected for free. Then we just grab that, connect that up like that, and then we gotta wait for them to keep doing all of the things, which is totally fine. We have a bunch of flooded buildings, which is kind of anticipated because I don't have this optimized to allow for flow through of water. Just something I should have fixed already, but I did not. This is going to fill in. I doubt we're going to see this actually over cap. I still don't know what to do with all this water either, which is kind of annoying, but it's okay. We can come pump it out. We've got storage for it. We've got another 6,000 worth of water storage available to us. We've got plenty of beavers floating around doing nothing. So that wouldn't be a bad use of our time, except for we're going to be spending a lot of my planks. Where are all of my planks at? Ah! Ah! I need more planks! But I have to spend planks to make planks. Oh no. I don't have any. I need the treated planks so I can actually run all the things. This is probably taking up a fair bit of plankage over here. This is definitely eating through all our gears and our logs and such. So there's that. It's actually going in faster. That's cool. We're getting something accomplished today. Instead of staring at beavers placing small pieces of dynamite and moving things around and placing a large pile of dirt over there. But this will be good. That'll put all of these bots to work doing something productive with themselves. And we could probably just store up logs while, or not logs, but planks while everything's running. Theoretically, I should maybe help them out with this, but they're actually moving it pretty quickly with everything being through the tube ways, so I don't think that's really necessary. Treated planks are moving in, gears are moving in. I do need to change this to efficient scrap metal, I believe. We need one of these two to be... Okay, so treated planks. I already did this appropriately. Look at me being smart. SMRT, okay, we're doing smart things. I love to see it. That's already 70% done. That's even nicer to see. How is this coming along? They are blasting away at it. We've got 0.2 days left until the end of this temperate cycle, and they should be able to make it to about here without me having to come back and supervise the next levels of all of that. And honestly, we could probably do about the same thing on this end. So I'd probably do this. Boosh. There you go. Well, that should give them something to do. We'll unpause it, let them do their things. And yeah, this is great. Got happier, or beavers happier than ever. Wait. You guys didn't even build those overhangs? And what did I even put them there for? Huh. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Are those the only two that didn't go in? Nope, there's one right there that didn't go in. Bad tide has officially started. So the poo water should start moving its way downtown. Moving even faster over here. This should pick our kick up to about 60,000. We're still pressing out a fair amount of juice. We haven't exceeded our power requirements thus far, so I will call that a win. Our bot numbers dropped precipitously, so I saw that this thing has already kicked off. This side, we need to prioritize, get some extract in here, and these guys are slowly working on all that. Grease is in. We've got our control tower in, so that'll keep these guys well and happy for us for now, which will be quite helpful. We have a bunch of flooded buildings. That's because all of this is just not keeping up. Wow. This actually filled up quite a bit. Like a lot of bit. So that's a full temperate cycle after a relatively short bad tide. Well, that is cool to know. There's a poop ton of water down here, and I keep saying poop. I should stop saying poop. Okay, yeah, 66,000, almost 69,000. Nice. Which is cool. They've already moved over here, hopefully. Too far from district to reach, probably because I destroyed that path that allowed them to do the pathy things over there. But now that that's reconnected, they should be able to get over there and do all of that. They're already moving down there, so that is cool. And let's see how this is coming along. We can go ahead and toss in this last piece right here. Go ahead and rip that out. Probably put that in right now. Be able to build all of that without any issue. And then, realizing that this was a mistake, we can get down, tear these portions out real quick. And then we'll recover those goods. Build a staircase right here. And that Get that right there. Then we can actually get back into there and do all the explosions on that back end. Which we are eating through our planks like no one's business. And these all require planks to actually build. So that's probably going to hurt. How do we rectify that? So let's go and check on our plank situation down here. So all of you guys, how are we doing efficiency-wise? So you guys are all happy. The actual productivity is awful. And is that because you guys aren't getting logs? It is because you guys are not getting logs. I could have sworn I prioritized all of these for haulers already. And apparently I haven't. So let's rectify that real quick. And that is probably not needed to be prioritized, but that's fine. That is prioritized. That is not. That is good. That is as well. Are we just not maneuvering logs out of here fast enough? No, I don't think that's the issue. I know not. But we'll run the game again. See if that helps out a little bit. I doubt it. We just made 2 small modifications. I don't want to tell them to bring the logs over here, because I feel as though that's a tad bit excessive. Go ahead and put in another one of these control towers right here, though. So we cover down this entire area, which would not be a bad idea. I just don't know. That's going to require 20 planks, which is... We're trying to rectify the plank situation, so I'm not opposed to that idea. So we'll go ahead and let them do that real quick. Come over here, see how this is going. This is all in. Everybody camping up here, so that's even cooler. All of that's in. All of those are in. Sweet! And all of this is going in, and we're filling up with dirt. We're already at 11K. That is beautiful. This is slowly maneuvering its way in as well. These guys are running back and forth, planting explosives for us, which is beautiful. These guys should also be coming down here and running on this side as well. So that should make things a little bit faster for us. All right, so we are producing planks about as fast as we're using them. So maybe things will even out here soon. We might have to start doing some other odd jobs for our builders so that we're not burning through all of our planks. Maybe we can come over here and start flattening some of this stuff out. Maybe that's a good use of our time. Just the question is, where do we start flattening stuff out? We kind of need to tear this stuff out. You can fill this in, I suppose. Fill all this in. It's not a bad idea. Have a nice flat workspace to play with, and then we can fill all this in as well. And then we can start building our giant reservoir right here. The question is, what do I do with the overflow? Because I anticipate during like a 6 to 9 day temperate cycle that we'll have an overflow issue. So maybe we can take advantage of... Well, no, we've already filled this thing up too, right? So what do we do with even more of the water? Because this is already full. Yeah, sure. Yeah, this was full after a short bad tide, followed by a long temperate cycle. So this will probably happen once every 10 cycles, potentially. I don't think that's worth worrying about, and I anticipate building a large enough structure to catch a fair amount of this water anyway. So maybe it's not an issue. Okay, let them continue to work. These guys are so out of juice. They're just barely hobbling over. He's carrying 1 out of 20 kilograms. It's just one little explosive. He's just out of juice. These guys are all out of juice. If only I could just, you know, let you keep using the tube ways. But alas, I cannot. But I think we'll call it there, guys. We're making progress. Slowly. It doesn't seem like we did much, but this right here is a good starting point. Getting this in is even a better starting point because that means we're going to be able to get this running a little bit faster, get all of the materials over here a little bit faster. We'll be able to build all of the system up that much faster. Having access to the tube ways and being able to build for both sides will make our lives that much easier. Now, how that's all going to look, I'm not entirely sure yet. I haven't done a major kind of build like that where it's just an aesthetic build like this before. So we shall see. And I'm not very good with the water pumps. Like those are, I've never had good luck with those. And we might have to figure something out for the power, because the moment we start throwing in all the water pumps that I'm thinking I'm going to need for this entire system, it's going to crash our system. So we'll have to figure that out. But I think that'll be for next time, because I've been yapping for way too long at this point. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button. If you have not already hit that subscribe button, I would appreciate that too. We've finally passed the 700 mark. Took a little while, but we did it, which is shocking in and of itself. And I appreciate each and every one of you who have already done that. And for those who will, I appreciate you for that. And for those who won't, I still appreciate you. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for enjoying this video. And yeah, we'll catch you next time on the next... I know how to speak the English language. On the next episode of Timberborn Z. Remember, guys, keep yourselves nice hydrated. Keep your beaver nice hydrated. And remember, stay thirsty, my friends. I'm out. See ya.